Hello, it's Simone. Welcome back to another Project Live process video. Today I am working on week 25. Yeah, I'm really far behind, but I'm actually very happy that I'm making progress, even if it's very slow. I am working on choosing embellishments, and this is usually how I go about my Project Live processes. I am looking at the big picture and looking through all of the embellishments that I have, placing them on the photos where I might, or cards where I think they might go. And then, yeah, then after I have done that and think the layout is well balanced, I am going to actually journal and stick things down. So if you saw my last video on week 24, you saw me fussy cut that Nothing But Blue Skies cut apart that I just placed on the teal card, and it didn't work with the picture last week, but it worked perfectly on that card, so this is where I put it right in the beginning. And now I'm just going through all of the die cuts. I am working with the Day in the Life kit from Coco Daisy, and this is the June kit. I am crazy like that. I don't know why I put this rule on myself, but I am working with the June kit on my June photos and the July kit on my July photos. So yeah, that's how I roll. So I will be posting two different kinds of videos in December about two different kinds of things. One, how I'm going to change up the way I am going to memory keep in 2017, and another one about my scrappy resolutions for 2017. And this is definitely one of those. I'm not going to put too many self-imposed rules on myself because yeah, it limits. And well, why do I limit myself like that? Please tell me that I'm not the only person who does that. Do you have any other scrappy quirks or self-imposed rules that you want to get rid of? I think December is the perfect time to think about these and make some, not too many, resolutions for the next year. It would be really fun to try different things. Yeah, I'm almost finished. You you can see the three arrows that I placed on the cards. I love embellishing in pairs of three, and I really love that Coco Daisy included three similar items to be able to do that. So the only thing that was left was to pick alpha stickers, and I usually pick a larger one and a smaller one. Yeah, and then I'm going to work on my cards individually. These two embellishments have been floating in my kit box, embellishment box forever, and I just decided that if I wasn't going to use them on this spread, I will just throw the rest into the trash. I'm done. And I used that 3x4 journaling card and as a die cut. I just cut it out and then placed it on top of the photo. And here I'm just covering the staples because I don't want them to get stuck when I stick them into the page protector. Moving on to the title card. It's a really, I think it's plain. I used these smaller tile stickers because the blue alpha sticker sheet doesn't really have any letters left, and it also doesn't include numbers. Yeah, and I wanted to use this new stamp set from Ellie's Studio. I'm so in love with this stamp set. I think it's my most favorite stamp set of all times, and I will be using it everywhere. That's at least what I think. It's perfect. It's the best. So And I think after I'm stamping the first part of the week, I am going to be done with this title card. And when I did this specific spread, I started to question myself why I actually bothered to put down the week numbers. Why, when, when will I ever care about the number of the week when I look back on it? I don't know. Um, what I wanted to point out, I didn't have a dash, so I just used the one, I think it is, and just covered it half with ink, and then it worked perfectly as a substitute dash. Now I am going to place this bare feet always welcome. I love this die cut, but I never found a use for it, so here it was perfect because it is another picture from Yosemite, and my sons were in the Mirror Lake and it was freezing cold, and I wanted to take a scenic photo of them, and I didn't really get anything. Now I'm working on that 4x6 photo that is going to be in two 3x4 slots, so I had to cut it apart, and I wanted to make sure that I didn't cut through any faces. And then I, before I'm starting to embellish this photo, I am just picking out all of the labels that I thought would go with this color scheme. And yeah, all of the boys of my family were watching the European Soccer Championship on a teeny tiny iPad. So then I'm going to choose the label that I want to cluster it, because somehow it just one label there didn't really look okay, so I cut this one out, and then I'm going to use this other one. No, I'm going to put some washi tape underneath that label, and then I'm going to have it off the page and cut part of it off. Then the only thing that I'm adding here is EM für Europäische Meisterschaft and the date, the year 2016. So that's those two, and since I just started bringing in that washi tape, I wanted to make sure that it was somewhere else on the spread. And now I am going to make this arrow work for me. It didn't fit on the photo to the right of the board that I'm going to point to, but it fit on the left, but then the words were upside down, so I just cut everything off and glued it back down. Just turned the words around, and now that arrow works. So this next, moving on to the next card, this is another photo of the same event. I just liked the different photos. They were dabbing all together or throwing up their caps, and since he was so proud and this was such a big thing, I didn't really mind having the same photo, or actually having two photos of the same event in that spread. And then I'm just journaling about it, and I just realized that I didn't really, usually my spreads are very journal heavy, but this spread is, I'm not really writing that much, but still I there's no rule that says you have to be journal heavy on every spread, right? So that this card was from a Studio Calico kit, and I also add another arrow, and then I just added the letters HMB for Half Moon Bay, then some of these enamel shapes, and I'm done. And now I'm adding this tiny arrow or tag to the top, another piece of washi tape, and then that's done. And I just remembered, or maybe the reason why I didn't journal on this spread is because most of these events that are in there or on there were I have already recorded in my summer journal, and these photos are just in there so that there are no gaps in my Project Life album. I know this is another self-imposed rule. Who says you have to have photos of every week if they are recorded somewhere else? But well, you know, that's how I roll. For this year, it's these rules. Next year, I will have other rules. And then I don't know what it is, but today I am umming a lot. Let's try and finish this strong. And moving on to the next card, I thought that I would just add a couple of different labels and journal on those. I have also recorded that specific event. It was a trip to San Francisco in my travel journal, so I do not need to talk a lot about it. Just write down that we were there, and then I am going to be done. I don't really like the way this looks, so I'm going to look for another label that I could put underneath, and this is it. I'm going to just put that black circle there. Don't know if I like it better like that, but this is what I decided to do, and so I'm going to roll with it. I love roll today as well. I said twice, this is how I roll, and now I said this is how I'm going to roll with it. But sometimes I seem to have words that I like more than others. So here I'm going to put down SF for San Francisco. I have started doing this several spreads ago, but I just whenever we went someplace, I just used an abbreviation, and I really like that. So guess this will appear several times more during my Project Life album. But I do not really care about repeating things. That's what makes an album cohesive, right? So next is this photo. There's only going to be a label on there, and I don't really know what I wrote, and I just realized that the sun is very disturbing here. It's very bright on the top right, and then it's very dark in the bottom where I'm actually working. I didn't notice that when I was filming. I really have to take that into consideration next time I am filming a video. So this is the last card of the spread. We still have my family over from Europe, from Germany to be precise, and this was one of the last days. So my mom decided to take us out for brunch, and this is a photo of my breakfast. And what I'm going to write, I don't really know what I'm going to write, if I'm going to write, but the funny thing was that my husband took me to this breakfast cafe for my birthday, and I was so excited to go, and I actually didn't like my breakfast, and I was so bummed. So we went there even though I wasn't thrilled. So we went there again with my family, and I didn't know what to get, and I was really afraid that I wouldn't like my food again. But this time it was so much. I chose something else, and it was so yummy, and I can't wait to go there again. Well, I might have to wait till my birthday, but it's well worth the wait. So since I said I was going to chuck these stars out, I'm going back and putting them everywhere just to use them up. And the same goes for the enamel shapes. And yes, I am actually done. And here is a overview of the whole layout. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you don't want to miss my videos, consider subscribing and check me out on Instagram. I'm Simone over there. Thank you so much for watching. See you next time. Bye.